So till now we haven't created a program that can interact with user. So what I mean to say over here is that we haven't created a program which will take input from the user and then will act according to that input. So what I want to do in this video is to create a program which is bit interactive. So we are having this program from our previous video where we didn't initialize this variable with any value, and then we try to print the value of this variable in order to see what kind of value my computer stores inside it. Now I want to change this program a bit. So instead of allowing my computer to decide what kind of value will be stored inside this variable, which is a random value, so I want the user now to decide what kind of value will be stored inside this variable. So first and the foremost thing we'll need is to tell the user when to enter the value. So for that we have to print a message. So for that we need a printf library function. So let's say I want to print the message as enter an integer value. Now let's terminate this statement. Okay. Now after this message is displayed, what do we need? We need to take the input from the user. So for that we are having this library function called as scanf, which is defined under this standard input output header file. So what that library function do is it will take in input from the user. So let's call that function by naming it, which is scanf, and then we have to provide something inside its argument, like we did here in this case of printf. So as we know that they both, this printf function and scanf function, do different tasks. Like printf function prints something, whereas this scanf function takes input from the user instead of printing something. So means the arguments would be different. Now the argument which we'll provide is, first of all you have to provide the format specifier. So here in this case, as I'm using this variable a, so the format specifier for that would be %d. Now in the second argument, as we have provided a format specifier, we have to provide this scanf a second argument. So here in this case, like we saw in our previous video where we provided the name of the variable inside this printf argument, it is not like that. It is bit different here in this case. Instead of providing the name inside inside scanf's second argument, we have to provide the address of this variable. So the way we provide the address is by putting and, which is called as ampersand in C language, and then we have to type in the name. So this whole thing tells the scanf the address of this variable a. Now like here we are done with taking the input of the variable. Now what I want to do is I want to show the user that whatever value you have typed in is successfully taken by my program. So for that we have to print the value of the variable. So for that again we need a printf function, and now I want to print like your entered in integer is %d full stop and /n. Okay, second argument I'll provide the name. This is the difference. Like here in this case we provide the address in the second argument or the corresponding argument of this format specifier. Here in this case we provide the name. Now let's quickly save the file and let's see, let's compile our file. So gcc test.c. Okay, it has successfully compiled our program because there is no error which is being shown by the compiler. Now let's run the program and I'm hitting enter. Okay, so it is asking me to enter an integer value. So let's say I want to enter, let's say 56. Now I'm pressing enter. See, it is showing exactly the value which I have entered in my program, which is the value 56, and it is showing the exact same value, which is 56. Now let's try to enter a different integer value. Let's say here, this time a negative value, let's say minus 78. Now I'm pressing enter. See, nothing has changed. Like, it is showing exactly what it is supposed to show, which is the output which is being entered by me, which is minus 78, minus 78. Now this was the case for the integer variables. Let's say you want to uh, create a program which will take character from the um, user as an input. So you have to you have to use the or declare the variable according to that, and then you have to change the argument over here and over here, and then you can and that program will take the input from the or take that character from the user and will print that character. Same is for the double. Just you have to double of floats, you have to just change the data type and the format specifier and the address, and everything is